Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shemal Shai B'Shem Kodash. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. This is going to be a quick one, and I'm going to entitle this video Proof that the Edomites are still among us today. Another title I may use is Undeniable Proof that the Edomites are still among us. I may just use the first one, but anyway, this is according to so-called Bible experts, and this is just one of them. And I'm gonna check out some of these other what do you call it, commentaries, these Bible commentaries, like I normally go to, or I'd always go to the Bible Hub. Anyway, I went to Google and I asked the question, how did I phrase it? I said, let me see if I put it up. Hold up. Okay, I think the way I framed to pose the question on Google is Isaiah chapter 34, a future prophecy, or something to that effect. So the first thing that popped up was David Guzik, which he's a part of the Blue Letter. Y'all know about the Blue Letter. Spirit got on me to go led me to the Blue Letter. And so all these other camps that use the Blue Letter, it started with me. Whether they followed me, but whether they saw in my videos, oh, what's that Blue Letter thing? Because I remember when I first came across it, I showed, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramlob. And at first they wasn't using it that much. So now they use it all the time. But it started with me through the Spirit. So it's a spiritual thing, the water, the Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai, B'Shem Kodash. Anyway, so one of the individuals that is a part of that organization is a man by the name of David Guzik, and he might be a Jake. He might just be a Jake. I believe his line either goes back to the Scots or the Irish. So he might be a Jake, but he looks like an Edomite. So this is a different page from the Blue Letter, as you can see, enduringword.com, Bible commentary. So it says Isaiah 34, the indignation of the Lord Yahweh against all nations. So audio for Isaiah 34. Give me a second here. Okay, so if you click on audio for Isaiah 34, you can hear and this is out of the New King James Version, as you can see. But I believe you can go to the King James. If you go to the Blue Letter, put in Isaiah 34 in the Blue Letter, you can go to the King James, or you can go to any of the versions and listen to it. So this is the whole chapter. Isaiah 34 to 35, the highway of holiness. The indignation of the Lord against the people of the nations. And it's the number one on the list is Edom, because it doesn't mention any nations. It mentions from the first verse, right, come near you nations to hear. So all nations hear this. But the only nation that it mentions are the Edomites, the Edomite nation, the fury and completeness of the judgment of the Lord. So it says here, so this is the commentary. It says, the indignation of Yahweh. In the immediate context, Isaiah continues the thought of the coming judgment against the Assyrians, and we know it's not talking about the ancient Assyrians, but in the larger text, we can see this message as an announcement of the judgment to come upon the nations during the Great Tribulation. So if you speak to any Christian that knows anything about prophecy, they're into prophecy, you ask them about the Great Tribulation, they would all say the same thing. The Great Tribulation is yet to come. We're not in the Great Tribulation. And that's the utter destruction, when the Most High brings his judgment. So now when you read Isaiah 34, it mentions Idumea. When you click on the word Idumea, that's a Greek way of saying Edom, which Isaiah is written in the Hebrew. So why would they put Idumea there? And I remember High Priest Ariel saying they put it there to kind of confuse you. If you figure out who Edom is, you come across Idumea, you might think it's another nation. So if you go to the blue letter, you come across the word Idumea, you click on it, it'll send you back to the word in the Hebrew, Adawam. But then when you click on Adawam, it will be, I believe it's H122. It will take you back to the first scripture. It will take you to, for H122 is Genesis 25 and 30. And it says Edom or Edomite. Either way, Edom or Edomite. When you click on that, it should read in the Hebrew, if you know how to read Hebrew, it should read Adawam. But H122 is Adam. So either they did that to confuse you, and then they say it means red, and then the word Adam means Adam, which Adam was red, so he really wasn't black. He was taken from the red soil of the earth. So you got to that's why you got to learn that you got to go back to the Hebrew and the Greek. You cannot call yourself knowing the scriptures, especially the prophecies, if you don't go into the Hebrew and the Greek. So the Hebrew and the Greek is not a doctrine. Hebrew and the Greek is part of the doctrine. Read the prologue to Ecclesiasticus. So it says, I'm going to read this verbatim. Jesus and many Old Testament prophets plainly told us of a coming time he called the Great Tribulation. And the term Great Tribulation is in Jeremiah 30. I believe it's Jeremiah 30 and 7. So Matthew's 24, verse 21. Let's see if he mentions tribulation. For then there will be great tribulation. I'm sorry, great tribulation. So you read Matthew 24 and 21, it should take you back to Daniel 12, starting from the first verse. Such as not seen, such has not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no nor ever shall be. So our Lord is mentioned in the Great Tribulation. Let me do this. So let me type in Great Tribulation. Okay, so it's Matthew 24 and 21, Revelation 2 and 2, great tribulation, Revelation 7, verse 14, and I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which come which came out of great tribulation and have washed their clothes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Those are Israelites. Let's see. Let me go to Daniel. Let me go to Daniel 12. It says here, time of trouble. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, the Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble. And they would don't normally say the time of trouble is the great tribulation. So let's go to Jeremiah 30. I'm singing to the choir right now. Preaching to the choir, rather. So great tribulation is synonymous with the time of Jacob's trouble. Time of Jacob's trouble, great tribulation. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Israel shall be saved out of it. So that's Jacob's trouble. So when you come back over here, and like I said, every scholar will tell you that when you read the word great tribulation, we know it's talking about the time of Jacob's trouble. So now we got that out of the way, right? So right here in this paragraph, he says that it's something that it's a future prophecy. It said it's talking about the Assyrians, but in the larger context, we can see this passage as an announcement of the judgment to come upon the nations during the Great Tribulation. It says Jesus, Jesus, and many Old Testament prophets plainly tell us of a coming time he called the Great Tribulation. Matthew 24, verse 21, when because of the judgment of the Most High, conditions on the earth would be the worst human history had ever seen. So we ain't seen the worst of it. Revelation 6, the pale horse. Revelation 8, Revelation 16, describe the horrific time when there will be widespread ecological, economic, cosmic signs in the heavens, human catastrophe on a level never before known in history. The idea that this chapter relates to the very end times, that's what he said, the very Isaiah chapter 34 is a prophecy that has yet to come take place. Goes back a long time ago, Christian teachers. Eusebius, with many other ancients, will have this chapter to be understood of the end of the world and the last judgment. I don't have to read anymore. I don't have to read anymore. What I do, I'll remember to put this in the description box so you can read the rest of the article. So now, let's go to Isaiah 34. Like I said, I'm preaching to the choir. So if Vocab Malone jumps up and say, "Oh, the Edomites are done away with," name me one Edomite that was around after 70 A.D. Well, the Idumeans were around. The Herodian dynasty was still around because they defeated the Israelites. It was the Roman armies, the legions, and along with the Herod's men of war, meaning mercenaries, men that fought for him, his personal army, which had to be Edomites. And besides, when you go into the history of that first Roman-Jewish war, or Jewish-Roman war, Edomites were fighting side by side with Jake. Why? Because they were trying to get into the kingdom. Because a lot of Edomites wanted to learn, like it's happening now with these Christians rolling up on the different camps. Oh, I know where they're at. They're at such and such and so street. I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna get my scriptures together and I'm gonna set them straight. I'm gonna show them that we can make it too. Then they wound up going home with the proverbial dog tail between their legs. So let me go to Isaiah 34. I'm gonna go right to the point. Let me do it this way. Okay, here it is. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Idumea, the word Idumea is in the 5th verse and the 6th verse. For my sword, this is talking about, this is getting ready to happen. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and the sword, the Most High sword, are the missiles. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And it says Idumea right here. Then it mentions Bozrah. It mentioned Bozrah and Idumea. So that proves, so the Idumeans are the people of Edom. I'm sorry, let me come back. That's Adawam, not Adam, Adawam. But then it takes you to Adam, which is H123. Then you have the H122, and none of these. If you go to 24, 25, it's not going to say Edom, but they know the actual word there is Adawam. Let's prove that. I'm going to go right to it. There it is. Adawam, right? It says, bear with me for a minute. Upon isle, it says isle upon Adawam, the Edomites. It says, and upon isle, the people. I'm is people. Then it says of my curse to judgment. Judgment is la mash They're missing a letter here. No, they're not. La Mashapat. La Mashapat means judgment. To law meaning to judgment. La Mashapat. Who's going to receive the judgment? The Edomites. Adawam. When is this judgment going to take place? It's getting ready to take place. This is a future prophecy. So if anytime Vocab Malone rolls on you and said, well, the Edomites are done away with, you show them Isaiah 34. And it mentioned the Edomites. You ask him when did this take place? And he doesn't know because he doesn't understand prophecy. They didn't teach him that in that theological cemetery that he went to. So he's a lost soul. Anyway, he better hope like hell he's an Israelite. Because if you're an Edomite, brother, we're going to be renting you out. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.